The Galactic Council's observation deck hummed with the usual mixture of translated languages and synthesized vocalizations. Melissa stood near the crystalline viewport, her fingers drumming against the datapad as she watched the assembled delegates mock yet another human custom. Emotional support animals, chittered Ambassador Vexthor, their insectoid mandibles clicking in what passed for laughter among the Kretuk. The humans bring pets to stressful situations. How primitive. Melissa's jaw tightened, but she said nothing. 3 years serving as humanity's junior diplomat had taught her patience. The galaxy saw humans as soft, sentimental creatures who formed irrational attachments to lesser beings. It was a reputation that had cost them critical trade agreements and military alliances. It demonstrates weakness, added the Yorvath representative, their crystalline form pulsing with condescending blues and purples. In my civilization, we evolved past such emotional dependencies millennia ago. The council chamber erupted in agreement. 50 species, all convinced of their superiority, all blind to what made humanity dangerous. Melissa's communicator buzzed. A single message from Earth. He's coming. She allowed herself a small smile. Asil arrived 3 days later aboard a human frigate that made the alien dreadnoughts look like children's toys. He walked through the station's corridors with the easy confidence of someone who had nothing to prove, his duffel bag slung over one shoulder, his eyes taking in every detail with the sharp awareness of a predator. Melissa met him at the docking bay. "They don't know, do they?" she asked without preamble. "Not yet," Asil replied, his voice carrying that distinctive Earth drawl that made the translator matrix struggle. Command thought it was time for a demonstration. "I'm here for the Territorial Dispute Summit. High-stress environment, they said I'd need support. Your paperwork claims you're bringing an emotional support animal." "I am." "Asil, they're going to use this against us. They already think we're weak?" He grinned, and there was something wolfish in that expression. "Let them." The summit began poorly. The Krenth hegemony and the Talvar consortium had been disputing a mineral-rich system for 2 decades, and neither side was willing to compromise. The tension in the negotiation chamber was thick enough to cut. Ambassador Vexthor spotted Asil immediately. "Ah, the human needs his comfort creature. How touching." The clicking laughter spread through the chamber. "Where is this animal?" demanded General Krath of the Krenth. "I wish to see what kind of creature soothes the human psyche. A small furry mammal, perhaps? Something that makes pleasing sounds?" Asil checked his chronometer. She should be arriving at the station right about now. The handlers needed time to prep her containment unit for transport. "Containment unit?" Melissa whispered. She'd read his file. She'd approved his file. Nowhere did it mention. The station's emergency klaxons began to wail. The docking bay had been cleared. Every available security officer stood at the perimeter, weapons drawn but uncertain. Through the reinforced windows, the delegates watched as a cargo hauler backed carefully toward the airlock. "What?" Vexthor's voice had lost all traces of amusement. "Is that?" The containment unit was massive. 20 meters long, 10 meters wide, constructed of Earth's densest alloys. Warning symbols covered every surface in 17 galactic languages. The words were different, but the message was universal. Apex predator. Extreme danger. Asil stood calmly in the bay, waiting. The unit's doors hissed open. She emerged like a nightmare given flesh. 4 meters tall at the shoulder, 12 meters from nose to tail. Scaled hide that had evolved to shrug off anything short of plasma fire. Her eyes were golden and intelligent, fixed on Asil with an intensity that made every delegate take an involuntary step backward. A Tyrannosaurus Rex. A genetically reconstructed, perfectly healthy, enhanced Tyrannosaurus Rex. "Gentlemen, ladies, and other distinguished beings," Asil said casually, walking toward the creature that could swallow him whole. "Meet Duchess, my therapy animal." The Rex lowered her massive head and Asil scratched behind her jaw. She made a rumbling sound that vibrated through the deck plating, a sound of contentment. "You humans are insane," breathed General Krath. "We prefer adaptable," Melissa said, finding her voice. "You see, when humanity discovered we could bring emotional support animals to official functions, we asked ourselves, why limit the definition? Earth has 65 million years of evolutionary history to draw from." Asil continued his demonstration, running his hand along Duchess's scarred hide. She was the top predator of her era. Before the asteroid, nothing could challenge her kind. We brought her back, raised her from an egg, trained her, not to make her weaker, to make both of us stronger. This is a violation of Council safety protocols, Vexthor protested. Check the regulations. Melissa pulled up her data pad. Any animal the handler can demonstrate complete control over is permitted. Any animal that provides genuine psychological support is permitted. We filed all the appropriate paperwork. Duchess yawned, displaying teeth the size of daggers. The question, Assel said quietly, isn't whether humans form bonds with animals. It's what those bonds mean. He looked at the assembled delegates. Every species here sees our attachment to lesser beings as weakness. But we don't bond with weakness. We bond with potential, with power. He gestured to Duchess. She trusts me. I trust her. We're partners. And if a human can form that kind of bond with an apex predator from Earth's past, imagine what we can do with the allies who underestimate us. The silence in the chamber was absolute. General Krath was the first to speak. Perhaps we should reconsider our position on the disputed system. A negotiated settlement seems wise. The Talvar representative nodded enthusiastically. Later, as the summit concluded with unprecedented cooperation, Melissa found Asel feeding Duchess synthesized meat in the cargo bay. You know they'll never mock human bonds again, she said. That was the idea. He scratched Duchess's jaw again, and the massive predator practically purred. Earth has always understood something the galaxy forgot. The greatest strength isn't standing alone. It's knowing who or what to stand beside. Melissa watched the Rex and her human, two apex predators from different eras, united by trust. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Never mock humanity's bonds, because humans don't just befriend the weak. They partner with legends.